What is the best way to handle a breakup with an avoidant? So, one of the things I really want you guys to understand first is that when an avoidant breaks up with you, they are not always necessarily breaking up with you. They are breaking up with the idea and what it looks like and feels like to be with you. Typically, we see this happen when certain life circumstances become a little too real for the avoidant. For instance, let's say that you and your avoidant were doing really well, things were going great, you guys were in a good relationship, and then one day you decided to bring up the idea of moving in together. Well, in that case, you might see an avoidant back down a little bit. In that moment, they feel triggered. And that core wound that they have that they still need to heal from, that gets activated. And then they start to worry. They're like, oh my gosh, if we live together, you're going to see what I'm really like. That's so intimate. That's so real. Oh my God, this is going really far. And a lot of times in that moment, they'll panic. Or I've seen a lot of situations where an avoidant breaks up with their partner after maybe a vacation or a trip somewhere. Whenever you go on travel and you do things like that, there's going to be stresses and things that are out of the norm. And one thing that you'll find about avoidance is that they love a routine. They want life to be a certain way. And those of you guys that are watching that have dated an avoidant can relate to this. They usually have different routines with exercise in the mornings, in the evenings. They like life to be a certain way. And what that really is for them is more of a control thing that they feel like they have to keep things a certain way and they don't want you messing with that. Another word that comes to mind is structure, okay? Everything needs to be structured in a certain way, all right? Here's the other truth about avoidance, okay? It's not that they don't want a relationship or love or intimacy. It's that they don't like how they feel when that part of them starts to come up. A lot of times it goes back to childhood wounds, things that were said, done, if they felt neglected. Maybe some of their feelings and emotions were kind of brushed aside, like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous, like, stop. And so now into adulthood, they're sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can speak up. I don't know if I can handle being outside of my comfort zone, outside of my structure, because that's not something that I'm used to feeling. So when it comes to the breakup with an avoidant, okay, the best thing to do is let them go and be in their routine of life. Let them go and feel that out. Let them go experience that. Let them get back to that part of them. I know a lot of people are going to comment here and probably say like, don't date an avoidant, la-di-da, it's a headache and stuff like that. I understand that, but some of you probably want that person back and that's okay. Disregard those comments because avoidants are different. There's a different way to handle them than somebody with an anxious or secure attachment style, right? So let them go back. Let them go back to that structure, that feeling of just organization that they have, right? A lot of avoidants tend to be OCD and everything has to be a certain way, right? Some of you guys' ex-avoidants probably were neat freaks and just stuff like that. It all comes back to they want to feel like they can control a certain part of their lives. Avoidants are usually in really good shape, okay? They usually work out a lot. They really enjoy that. They probably eat healthy, stuff like that. That's not all avoidance, but you're going to find that commonality between people that have avoidant attachment styles.